Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Real Madrid against Leganés. Back from the international break, it feels like a very long time that we haven't watched football. Look, there were a couple of very good games during the international break, and I would agree that it probably is and was the most exciting an international break has been since a big tournament. Usually when it's not the World Cup, it's not the Euros, it's not the Copa America, it just isn't exciting at all. Normal friendly games. The Nations League, I think, is quite boring most of the time, but there were some very good games in there in the quarterfinals across the two legs. And obviously, it was a really, really good 2 week break for, I think, the players who didn't go. And I think as fans, sometimes you just need a break from football. I think that, yes, football is part of, our everyday life. But, we've had so many games since the last international break. We've had a game basically once every 4 days. And the amount of football we've had is incredible. And we are going to have this amount of games from now, start of April, until June. So, there is still obviously the Club World Cup at, the end of the season as well. So there is a lot of games, and obviously you will want to watch these games and enjoy it. But I think sometimes having a little break is obviously good for your mental well-being as well. So yeah, but we're back. We are back to business, and La Liga is still where it was. In terms of Real Madrid just being a chasing pack. Barcelona came back without Rafinha, without Araujo, but they still got the job done against Osasuna, which means that this is a must-win game, and I fully expect it to be. I mean, Leganés, they are a very decent side, but they are 18th. They have caused some shocks this season. You know, they have beaten. I'm pretty sure they have beaten. They have beaten Atletico Madrid, and they have beaten Barcelona, and they went away to Barcelona and they won. But look, I just don't see that happening. And that's not trying to underestimate your opponent. That's not being arrogant. I just think that, you know, they are obviously 18th. We have played them twice this season, both times away, and we've won both times 3-2, if I'm not wrong. No, we've won 3-2, and we won 3-0 earlier this season in La Liga. And obviously in the Copa del Rey, we won 3-2 with a more rotated team. So at home, at the Bernabeu, against Leganés, it will be extremely, extremely tough for Leganés to get something out of this game. And look, with the sort of run in that Real Madrid have in the next couple of games, Leganés at home, Real Sociedad at home in the Copa del Rey, Valencia at home, and then it's a Champions League, Arsenal away, Alaves away, and then you've got Arsenal at home, Athletic Club at home. I would say that Leganés and Valencia, that is those are two games that you should be winning. I think Real Sociedad in the cup, 1-0 up, you should be winning that. So that's 3 home games in a row that we should be winning. And then you got a couple of tough away games in the Champions League. Alaves away is going to be tough because obviously we tend to struggle going away to such teams, but it shouldn't be a problem. And then again, Arsenal home, Athletic Club home, a couple of tough games, and then Getafe away at the Coliseum, Celta Vigo at home, and then it's El Clasico. You know, yes, there are some tough games in that, and that's exactly why a game like this at home against Leganés is a must win. It is a must win without any doubts, and I think that we have enough quality to win, and we should be winning by more than 2-3 goals as well. By the way, this shouldn't be a 1-0 win. I would take a 1-0 win because a win's a win, but realistically, it should be a bigger margin than that. I mean, Barcelona beat Osasuna 3-0, and obviously Osasuna are doing better than Leganés, just, but they still are, and I think that we should be doing the same. In terms of Leganés and their form before the international break, in terms of away form, their last away game they lost to Celta Vigo, they lost to Real Sociedad away, they lost to Valencia away, they drew with Athletic Club, to be fair, and a couple of games in there they beat Atletico Madrid at home, and they lost recently to Real Betis at home as well. So they are currently on a only 2-game losing streak because they did beat Getafe at home, but away from home their record seems to be pretty poor, and yeah, you just have to really hope that that will continue. They've got a couple of very good players again. They've got experience. They've got Renato Tapia, Dani Rabas in there, Munir, the former Barcelona player, Valentin Rosier. They've got Dimitrovic, Oscar Rodriguez, ex-Sevilla, and yeah, they've got a couple of young players coming through. So this team is pretty good, but I just think that it should be enough for Real Madrid to just get this game out of the way, with all due respect. But how would I line up for Real Madrid according to the squad list? So Courtois is not in it, so Lunin starts. Mendy is still out, so I think Fran Garcia starts. I think Rudiger Asensio starts, and Vasquez starts. And the reason I think that is, I still believe that maybe Fede Valverde will get rested. Maybe. I think at home, I think the next couple of games will be games where you have to sort of rest these players. I think the Copa del Rey will be a game where we rotate a little bit more, because it's a cup game, and surely being 1-0 up at home, you should be able to win. If you rotate away against Real Sociedad and you won, at home you should be able to do the same. But I think that Fede Valverde is probably the most important player right now in terms of their right back spot. If Valverde is not fit for the Arsenal game, I think there is a very low chance we go away to Arsenal and we get something out of there, because I just don't really have that belief that Lucas Vasquez can still do the job at right back. I just don't. But in a game like this, at home, where we will be having the ball, Lucas Vasquez can contribute a lot going forward. That's okay for me. In the midfield, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Camavinga. Maybe Modric might start in there. And for the front line, I've got Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, and Rodrigo. Maybe Brahim might start. But I just think that should probably be the starting 11. I think that the only clear-cut change, apart from Courtois, is probably Fede Valverde getting the rest. I think everywhere else is probably going to be the usual suspects. I think it's going to be the usual starting 11. Because obviously, look, I think that Fede Valverde is crucial, but at home, I can see Carlo Ancelotti starting Lucas Vasquez. Can I see Carlo Ancelotti starting Arda Güler or Endrick? Questionable. So, there is my starting 11. Score prediction, I'm gonna go Real Madrid 3, Leganés 1. I'm gonna say they score a goal. Because defensively Real Madrid are still pretty suspect. Unless in the next 3 games at home, Real Madrid start defending really, really well and don't concede a single goal, then I'll believe that this team is and has improved. But until then, it's still very suspectful, and yeah, lots of work to do defensively. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Let me know what thoughts are down below. Hit the like if you did enjoy today's video. Subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.